my name is Iqrah and welcome to my YouTube channel. This week the video is about my first Unconference experience called Uncodebar 5 that happened on 14 September 2019 in Twitter HQ London. Now, I'm really annoyed at myself because I didn't take enough footage, so I'll have less than 2 minutes worth of recording. So I'm just going to explain the experience more through words than visuals. TLDR, the whole experience was amazing. But let's backtrack a little bit. I said this was my first Unconference. Now, what exactly is an Unconference? The official definition that I found on the event website was that a loosely structured open space event emphasizing the informal exchange of information and ideas between participants with 3 key points. No topics predetermined, no keynote speakers invited, no panels or working groups arranged. In other words, an unconference has no agenda until the participants create it. A conference is well structured and the topics, the speakers, the workshops are all decided in advance. The attendees know what they're going to experience. Whereas in an unconference, it has the opposite approach. The workshops, topics, speakers, none of that is predetermined. It just has a basically rough schedule and the attendees themselves contribute in forming the agenda for the day. Now, me being the anxious, scared, antisocial person, reading the definition of an unconference scared me. So far, I've only been to conferences where you can just sit, absorb the information as an attendee, but this needed active participation, which was scary. I was under the impression that everyone needs to lead a session or talk in front of everyone, but that's not entirely true. You can still attend an unconference and still be able to just sit back if you're not into leading a session. But if you are into that sort of thing, anyone and everyone attending an unconference is welcome to lead a session. That's what makes it beautiful. If you're someone who is shy and insecure, I would still recommend going to an unconference. You can't decide if you'd hate or love it unless you actually experience it. Once you experience it and you hate it, then fine, don't ever go again. But if you go and try it, and if you actually like it, like how I did, you might end up making a YouTube video about it. So, it is the morning of 14 September 2019, a Saturday. I had to wake really early to take my train to London Euston. It was a 2.5 hours journey and the event was due to start at 9:30 a.m. Time for some tragic travel tales. I'm quite proud of that alliteration. Thank you very much. So, my travel tragedy was that I forgot my wallet at home. I had no card, no cash, no phone-activated contactless payment. So the first course of action was to tweet about it. If you've never been to London, the whole city basically functions on tubes. And obviously you need some sort of money to use the tubes. The only option I had was to walk till the venue. The venue was 30 minutes away, so it wasn't that bad. Looking back, it was actually good that I forgot my wallet because it made me explore the ground above, the land of tubes. A few cool noteworthy things that I noticed was a jazzed up electric car and Chipotle. Who knew UK had Chipotle? Am I saying it correctly? Chipotle. Chipotle. Chipotle? Chipotle, right? Finally, I reached the venue. It was a bit mystique looking because I couldn't find the infamous Twitter bird anywhere. So I kind of just followed a bunch of equally confused people looking up at the sky, trying to find the bird. It worked. The Twitter office looks so mesmerizing. They even had a Game of Thrones chair. How cool is that? Okay, wait a second. So, previously explained what an unconference is, but I don't think I really explained what Uncodebar 5 is, so let me cover that now. Uncodebar is an unconference organized by Codebar. Codebar is a non-profit initiative started to help diversify tech. They run weekly programming workshops for underrepresented people and also help people to transition from a non-tech career to a technical one. They have tons of chapters all over the world, so you could sign up as maybe a student, a coach, or even as a host for the workshop. If you want to find out more, I'll link them down below. The official website is codebar.io. I found out about Codebar because of Alex. She is a fellow GitHub campus expert. She played a huge role in making this event incredible for me, and the reason why I attended in the first place. I might make a video on GitHub Campus Expert program, maybe in the future. Coming back to Uncodebar 5, the first thing was we were served with some delicious breakfast. Also took some videos of the Twitter kitchen. Next was the opening ceremony. Right after the opening ceremony was when the pitching sessions were supposed to take place. Now, I was supposed to meet Alex way in advance, but due to the whole wallet situation, I couldn't really find her until the pitching session. So there was this entire queue formed, and I would go to approach her to say hi, and guess what? I end up becoming a part of the queue, and her hyping and motivating ability is so amazing. She convinced me to pitch in front of this entire unknown audience and lead a session. We thought of GitHub pages and hackathons. Now, I wasn't even sure how the pitching session was supposed to work, so I just assumed that if I pitch 2 topics, the one that gets the most votes will get selected and put in the schedule. But that's not how it works. Every person that went pitched for 1 topic, and here I was pitching 2 topics, and both of them got picked. It went 0 to 100 real quick. From going as a person who would just sit back, I signed myself up to lead 2 sessions. What? I had no idea what I was going to talk about. All I could say was from personal experience and memory. Luckily, I was carrying my laptop because I had decided to edit a video while on my journey to London. So I knew that I could fetch for my GitHub Pages workshop slides somehow from the drive. But for the hackathons, I had nothing. My first session was on hackathons. There was 20 minutes before the first session would start. So I just grabbed a notebook, asked an attendee for a pen, and just started scribbling the things hackathon related I could talk about, just so that it had some sort of structure. And I kind of tried to make it as a Q&A, but I think I just went on to blabber a lot. So if anyone's watching this and they attended my session about hackathons, I hope you learned something, but also sorry for blabbering way too much. Way more than I intended to. I also had no slides, so there was a whiteboard and there were whiteboard markers, so I thought, might as well make use of that. Funny story related to that. 2 weeks later, someone I know that works in Twitter at the moment messaged me this. 2 weeks after the event, the whiteboard that I was using with my Twitter handle on it was still there. No one cared to remove it. I wonder if it's still there. I don't know. Now, the food for lunch was not that great, but then again, I didn't really care. I was having too much fun interacting with all the people that attended my workshop. The people that I was sitting with were very friendly and outgoing. One of them even called one of the Twitter employees to come and sit with us and discuss the job process, the opportunities. The Twitter employee who was kind enough to answer all our questions was Daniel. I'll put his Twitter handle here. Also, I am personally scared of applying to companies like Google, Twitter, Facebook, because I feel like I am incompetent and I don't have the required technical skills. But if you're someone watching that want to apply to these companies, I'll put the link here. Best of luck! After lunch, it was my GitHub Pages session. This time, Alex was there with me. I also got to do a little bit of live coding. I thought no one would attend the session, but some people did turn up, so that was amazing. It was basically trying to figure out if I can use HTML and Markdown in the same file. The answer, after a lot of failed attempts, was can use HTML and Markdown in the same file, just not in the same line. So that was that. The event ended with this session called Lightning Talks, basically open again to all its attendees. Anyone could just come up and share a little bit. One of the Lightning Talks that I remember clearly was about folderify. I don't know if I'm saying it properly. Basically this cool project that can be found on GitHub, I'll link it down below, that allows you to put these cute little icons on your folder, customized icons on your folder. There was also this person who was extremely passionate about Italian cuisine. The takeaway from that talk was to not break the pasta while making it. I'm sure guilty of that. So that is all. After the lightning talk, there was a few closing words, and then there was a group photo session. I could have borrowed money from Alex to take the tube or the bus to go to the station, but then it was just 30 minutes and I had an open return ticket. During my journey back home in the train, I was just reflecting over the whole day. I went in with a totally different expectation, came out with a completely different positive experience. I felt so fulfilled because I had actively taken part and contributed to the whole conference. I really couldn't believe it because a lot of people don't trust me when I say this, but I am a really shy person who was very unconfident, who was really bad at public speaking, especially spontaneous public speaking. But that has changed a lot since I've started attending hackathons, the other events that I go to, because I'm a GitHub campus expert, people that have inspired me from the tech community. I don't know if they're watching this, but if you're watching this, Joe, Lika, Sami, Hamza, anyone that's mentored me in any of the hackathons, you've played a huge role. It was just really nice to look back at this event. And similarly, if you're out there and if you're shy and anxious and too scared to speak in public, trust me, if you really want to change that, not that you have to change it, but if you want to change it, you can. And even if that's not your concern, specific to Unconference, if the whole format scares you, try it out. I mean, I'm not saying you would absolutely love it. You might hate it, you might like it, but the only way you can know if you'd actually hate all of it is by going and trying it out. That's enough of me blabbering. Just a random note, while my train journey back home, I spotted a hot air balloon. I took a video, just added to my non-existent bucket list. Go on a hot air balloon ride someday. I'll surely make a YouTube video about it if it ever happens. Subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Twitter, share this video. Go to an Unconference. Yeah, I'll link all the links, websites, whatever I mentioned down in the description below. Hope you liked this video. Hope I was able to explain what an Unconference is. And see you at an Unconference next time. It's really cold and I'm like sitting on the ground. I'm just gonna end this. Bye!